Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I want to go over the latest patch news for STO on both PC and console. As always, chapters are listed down below. First up, for those of you over on console, there's an Admiralty bonus week active right now up through April 25th, so if you're trying to work on any of the Admiralty campaigns, now's a good time to do so. And heading over to the PC side of things, the patch notes from yesterday just had some fixes related to the first Contact Day event. The first one here is for the Launch Toy Rocket and Phoenix Hollow Emitter items that you get from completing the event. If you had completed it in 2023 or in 2024, you could not reclaim those items, and they have now went in and fixed that with the patch yesterday. And the other thing here is that in the model rocket building TFO, you could not see the fire on the workstation in some cases, so they have now went through and fixed that. Not very lengthy patch notes, but a reminder that there is a new season expected to drop sometime next month. So whatever fixes they've been working on, any changes, stuff like that, we'll probably see all drop alongside that season when it drops next month. Next up, for those of us on PC, there's a key flash sale that just started up today and will be running up through the 21st. So this is a 25% sale, along with the return of the 20 keyring pack to the C-Store. So if you've been waiting to pick up some master keys, this is the sale to take advantage of. And for those of us on PC, I do still expect to see a bundle sale pop up next Thursday. Again, this is a sale that they've done at the end of April for the past 2 years. And per the roadmap that they released in March, we have a new C-Store bundle coming into the game in May on PC. And with Cryptic, they always like to do bundle sales prior to putting a new bundle in, with the hope that you're going to burn your Zen on those older bundles. And if the new bundle is of interest to you, that you're in a position where you would have to put more money into the game to pick it up. At least that's what they're hoping you're going to do. Now, the new bundle that we're getting in May is a Dyson Science Destroyer bundle. It has a Federation, KDF, and Romulan version, from what I've heard. There's no Jem'Hadar version, so just those 3 ships. And it's important to keep in mind that these were probably not designed by Jonathan. We've already seen with the Calvin Constitution 2 that dropped into the game last week that there has been a noticeable drop in the impact that these newer ships have had with regards to their accessories and just their overall layout. So I would temper expectations with this upcoming bundle and don't expect it to be anything that's going to shake up the meta. They'll probably be decent ships, but they're not going to have the same level of impact as we saw with the ships that were designed when Jonathan was in charge. So just keep that in mind. Temper your expectations, and however far you've lowered them, probably take them down a little bit lower. And on the topic of dev departures, the latest is Jesse Heinig, who had worked on the game for 13 years as a content and systems designer. He has now moved over to Blizzard Entertainment to work on World of Warcraft Classic. If you're not sure why these departures are happening, I've got a video going over it, which I'll have linked down below. But the quick summary is that Cryptic Studios is being absorbed into Deca Games, and Deca is hiring brand new development teams to work on all of Cryptic's titles. In the transitory period, Cryptic is training up the new folks at Deca, but it's clear that the end game here is that the original developers at Cryptic Studios are not going to be the ones working on the games long term. So as time goes on, you're going to continue to see more and more of these departures happen. And once the transition is fully done, I don't think we're going to see any of the original Cryptic folks still working on the game. Next up, as some of you may recall, the Gameprint service that allowed you to order physical 3D printed copies of your STO ships had stopped taking orders at the end of October, and they have been very slowly fulfilling orders in the time since. But there's been a recent update that is going to disappoint many of you, and that is that at the end of April, they are going to have to stop fulfilling orders, meaning that if your order is not fulfilled by the end of April, you're going to end up getting a refund. So, a bit unfortunate there. I know a lot of you had ordered a ton of ships prior to that service shutting down, and you thought you were safe because you got your order in, but here we are about half a year later, and it ain't gonna happen. So really unfortunate. I really do wish that when that service had shut down, that STO had just given us a direct way to just get 3D models of our ships so that we could go and print them ourselves. But the current situation, not great. And now, even though those of you that did manage to get an order in prior to this service shutting down back in October, even if you got that order in, there's a very good chance that you're not actually going to get it and you're going to get a refund instead. So I'll have a link to the Facebook group for this stuff down below. There's no one left in there that actually works at Gameprint from what I know, but you can see some of the other conversations, some of the other emails that people have received. So again, links to that will be down below, and definitely very disappointing for any of you that had ordered some of those 3D printed ships. And the last bit of news for today is not new news, but there's some points I want to bring up about it. And that is that at the end of March, it was announced that Star Trek Infinite, the Star Trek Stellaris game, will not be receiving any further updates. Now, the two reasons I bring this up is one, this explains why there's so many people from Star Trek Infinite now joining Deca Games to work on STO, because they want to work on a Star Trek game, and Infinite isn't getting developed anymore, and Deca conveniently is looking to put together a new dev team to work on a Star Trek product at the same time. So that explains why we're seeing Star Trek Infinite pop up on so many LinkedIn pages for new Deca employees. Now, the other thing I want to bring up here is that there is still a promotion going on where if you purchase Star Trek Infinite, you get a code for the Miranda class Antares skin on PC. So console players, this isn't relevant to you, but for PC players, if you really want that Miranda skin, that Antares skin for your Miranda, which is fully kit bashable with the other Miranda skins in the game, then the only way that you can actually get that is by purchasing Star Trek Infinite here and following the instructions listed on this page, which I'll have linked down below. And right now, there's not any great sales on Star Trek Infinite, but if you're someone that's just a really big fan of the Miranda class and you want to have all the skins for it, then I would recommend you keep an eye on, is there any deal here? And if you see this game drop to an acceptable price for you before November, then I'd pick it up. But this promotion, I don't see an end date listed to it here on this page, but I believe in the initial announcement that they did for this is that it would only be up for the first year. So if this is something that you're interested in, make sure you're acting sooner rather than later. But you do have a couple of months still for this promo to be up. Just, again, keep an eye on the price until it gets to a point that is acceptable to you to pay to get that skin in STO. And that's going to be it for today. Again, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you guys around.